And, this is a gorgeous airport. And, just, wow, really well done. Parking garages, um, everything about it is just beautiful. Not just the airport, of course, this area out here, they take care of that. And come around this way if I can get it to come around. This whole area out here, there's an IKEA right there. There's a whole shopping center along here. And there's hotels along this way. And, and that speaks to to the work that they did out here. But in here, it's just beautiful. It's just like they're prepared airports. They put just as much care into this airport as they did with their prepared ones. This area here, if you zoom in there, you can actually read the signs. Portland International, and they've got baggage loading areas, things like that. You can see all the signs. So they paid a lot of attention to detail there. Also, the FBO, which is, let's see if I can go back there. The FBO is right there, and let's see if I can go over there. It's worth it because they make these airports. A lot of the developers make these airports, and they don't realize that half of their customers, potential customers, are flying GA like myself. And let's see, I believe that's it. And let's just zoom in here a little bit. No, that's not it. I think this may be it here. Yeah, it is. That's well done. Atlantic Aviation. Nice textures all over. And then there's the cargo area over here. You can see cars. Not that that's a big deal in XPlane, but it does look very good. All the way over in this area here. Go over there and look at that shopping center real quick, because that's what really, there's the hotels. Not sure what those are. It's nice. And there's another one, looks like a Renaissance maybe. And is that, let's see. No, that's Embassy Suites. You can actually read the sign. And Rim Track, don't know what that is. Might be a business of some kind. There's another one. And what do we got here? Didn't see that. Chipotle. Some more hotels here. Where are we? There's the shopping center. Let's go over there. Here's a Best Buy. Yep. Looks like a Best Buy. Take a good look. PetSmart. Typical setup. Don't know what these are. A lot of these I don't even know what they are. Famous Dave's Barbecue. Let's go there. And Mattress Firm, AT&T, Verizon Wireless, right next to each other, conveniently enough. Sprint, they're all here. There's the Starbucks. Get a cup of coffee. And GNC, Zoom Plus Care. I'm not going to hit on all of them. T-Mobile's way over here by itself. Feeling lonely. Here's a Supercuts. And what is that? I don't know. Let's turn around, look at the big part of the center. And it looks good at night too. Obstruction lights on the light poles. Okay, so there's a Marshall's. I mean, look at the detail here. Staples, Sports Authority, Cascade Station, Home Goods, DSW, Ross, Bath and Body Works, Dress Barn, Banana Republic, Lane Bryant, Motherhood, Maurice's. Is that the end of it? Might be the end of it. Yeah, that's the end of it. And I mean, that's pretty good. Let's have a look at what it looks like at nighttime. Come on, XPlane, wake up. Maybe it's because it's thinking. It's pondering the situation. You see the obstruction lights on the light poles, solid, like they should be near an airport. You notice that they flash when they're a couple miles away from the airport and further out, but when they get really close in, they're solid. That looks really good, doesn't it? Let's go a little darker. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. I'd love to see some more of these. But talk about attention to detail. And I'm not going to show the rest of it because, you know, we want to have a flight. So I've been threatening to do a Zibo flight. Now, last time I flew the Zibo was probably 3 weeks ago. I fly it about every 3 weeks to a month just to sort of, I don't know, dust off the cobwebs, maybe have fun making mistakes, stuff like that. And so here I am here. No, I'm going to change the time back to daytime. Yeah, right around there, I guess. Actually, it might be even a little earlier than that. This is California or Oregon. So yeah, it has been 3 weeks, and before that it was a month, and before that it might have been 2 months. So I keep myself rusty with this airplane, and so I make mistakes. So this one will be interesting to see what mistakes I make. All right, there's that. So feel free to chime in and say, "You dope, what did you do?" All right, so this is a short flight down. Well, how long? How many miles? Airtime is an hour 20 down to Sacremento, and I'm flying into a KSMF, which is Sacramento International. I used to fly into KSAC a lot. I had a decent version of that, and we need some work there. And besides, you're not going to land a 738 at KSAC, so. But I had a look at the Forkboy KSMF, and it's pretty decent. So we're going to take a look at that. So yeah, let's see. How much fuel do I need here? Block fuel, 15,781. 15.8, I guess. And let's see, payload. 39.8. 39.8. This is undoubtedly the I'm not going to say undoubtedly the best airplane in XPlane, but and I always fly it with experimental. I don't have any problem flying with experimental. People say don't, you're not supposed to, but whatever. Let's see. So let's see. We've got fuel. We've got a flight plan. We've got our cargo. Let's see. Ground services, GPU. There we go. that says disconnect, and that says connect. Okay. So let's see. Let's make sure our parking brake is on. It is. Remove the chocks, and we've already got our fuel. We're good to go there. So go back there. And that looks good. The stuttering is happening here, not on the stream, so I'm having to live with it too. So let's get the battery on. Okay. There's that. 3 green up there, 3 green here. That works. See if I can remember all this stuff. Always annoys me. And turn these white knobs here. Not sure why, but they always seem to want you to do that. Kidding, but yeah. Okay, so FMC. Let's see, anything else I need to do? Speed brakes are forward, flaps are up. And we got power to the airplane, so we should probably crank on a light here or there. Ah. Sorry, that's my switches. Come on. Nav is on, good. Okay, and let's get the bleeds on. Okay. Clear. Delta 61 departure with our contact. Afternoon climb and maintain level 190. Up to 190 Delta 61. There is VATSIM in this area. I may do 2 flights, but I'm not going to do it in the Zibo. Not right now. Not with you know how my current skill is here. My ref airport is KPDX. Do I even know a gate? D9. D9. Not that that does a whole lot. And we're going to KSMF. It's an easy flight plan. And let's go next page. And so far so good. I haven't screwed anything up that I know of. RBL. RBL. Turn that down a little bit. And besides, it needs to be on ground. See how that is. So it should be on 121.9 then. That's not 12.
17, 1300, climb into 4.
That didn't work out so good.
The Terp 6, American 17, 17.
121.9. Okay, RBL to Machu. There we go. Timbers 2. So, yep. Okay, so we can activate that. Enter. Departure, arrival, departure. We are departing 3-4 left. Wait, 3-4 left? What did I do? Put this in backwards? Oh, I put it in backwards. Alright, so wait a second. Edit my flight plan. KPDX KSMF. I always make one decent, kind of big mistake. You know, I but it all seems to work out. So we got to clear this out. How do I clear this out? I don't know. See, now I'm in a pickle. Can't go to init ref. Let's see. Let's go to index, and let's go to ident and pause init. We are pause init. We are in the right place. We do go to route, and we are KPDX and KSMF, so that's right. So next page, and I want to. Let's see. So if I click clear, enter. No. Alright, so that didn't work out. Delete, delete, delete. Delete. RBL. Not in database. Clear. Let's try delete this. Invalid entry. Clear. So I can't delete. What can I do? Let's try taking the Herman's 5 departure to Herman's. HRMNS. Alright, so that's good. Alright, and we don't need to execute that yet. And then we're going to J189. J189 to LMT. LMT. Here. And it just disappears.
225, turn right at November, then left onto runway 13 right to follow the queue, monitor tower 123.9.
Alright, so let's do this again. Yeah, see, that's not going to work. Tell me I don't have to restart. I have never done this before. HRMNS. It's fun to watch people screw up, isn't it? Let's execute that. Okay. And then we'll put in J189. 189. Clear. 89. This is supposed to be the easy part, right? J189 to LMT. LMT. Oh, let's execute that. Let's put in LMT direct. LMT. Not in database. Did I enter it wrong? Yes, I did. Alright, so that one. Execute. Now let's try. This is tricky. 189. What if I did this? Clear, it's an invalid entry. I can do this, right? Clear, damn it. That's not an invalid entry. Alright, so I got that like that. But I need to get rid of that. Clear. Let's try delete. Not in database. That's because it's trying to put the word delete in there. Clear. Go to the legs page. Delete. There we go. Execute. Go back to our no, not departure arrival. Let's go back to the route. Let's see. So a net ref index, and let's go to pause, and then route, and then KPDX, and next page, and J189 to LMT. J189. All right, we can do that. See, it's not doing it. J189 LMT. I may have borked this thing. Oh, look at that. And then the tutor too. So let's exit that. Departure arrival, departure. And we want the Herman 5. And this time we're serious that we do want to depart on 10 right. 10 right. Herman 5, no transition. Exec. All right, good. That's part of it. Now let's go here and go to arrival. And we want the tutor 2 arrival from LMT, and we are going to 34 right. So it must be 35 right. Okay, so what kind of approaches do we have to 34 right? Damn, I gotta look at these things actually. Airport. KSMF. Approach. So why does it say, why is this nav data not in sync with the approaches? So there's a couple approaches here. There's the Z. Let's see what that looks like. All right, so possibly, damn, I can actually do some planning. Okay, so let's go back and let's go to arrival, tutor 2. Let's see what that does. Tutor 2 drops us off at Peach or tutor, expect radar vectors. So we can expect radar vectors here. LMT right here. So there's only one altitude, 12,000 feet. And then Peach, and then if I go here, I can go, what does that fix? Bonza. So I could just come off at Peach, so that's pretty decent. And this is a friggin' RNP. I don't think I want to do an RNP, even though they're cool. I don't understand why they'd have an RNP. But, you know, who am I? Back, approach, and 35 right. Let's look at the Y. So, yeah, so this one looks a little bit more sane to me. I'm not going to do anything cool with this airplane today. So we will choose 35 right. All right. And I am not going to use issue. I'm going to use Fippin. So let's just exec that like it is. Then we'll go to legs page and see what we got. All right. So plan. Let's bump it up to 20 miles. All right, and step, 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 step. There's Peach, there's Tudor, and then it just goes straight to Fippen. So back up here at Peach or Tudor, right around this area, we'll put ourselves on a downwind. So since we're here and since I've got this up, Fippen 3400, Cedra 1400, 780, good. And let me go do a page back. And where was that altitude on the star? It was here. Wasn't it? Nope. What was that? Here we go. Bowls, 12,000. Have a speed restriction? Nope. So bowls at 12,000. 1, 2, 0. Exact that. So flight plan looks good. Plan, and let's see, we want to be on the init ref page. Go here, this. Reserves are 5.6. 5.6. Cost index 17. Being a little bit chintzy. I believe we're going to flight level 360. 370. Okay. 370. Let's get our temperature. 319 at 30. 319/30. And where is it? Plus 12. 12. Oops. Clear. 12. C. And N1 limit. I'll just use whatever it is. And take off. How long is the runway here? Should be quite long. KPDX. Need a taxi route anyway, so yeah, why not? And we need the star, the SID. Airport and airport info. Let's see, I'm taking off on 10 right. Wow. So we're here, we're going to taxi all the way over there for an 11,000 foot runway. Okay, well, we'll do it though. Mike is right here to Bravo to Bravo. It's not bad. 11,000 foot runway, I can use this. Temperature's 15, so it's 60, so that should be pretty good. And flaps 5. Center of gravity. Trim is 4.87. And 1, 2, 3. Those are set. B2 is 140. And departure airport is 103. And let's have a look at this star. Where are we? Or SID. I didn't bring it up yet, did I? Back, departure, Herman 5. Guano's cross at 250. Let's see, go back to legs. Is this right? Oh, here we are. No, no altitude restriction. We're going the other way, but let's have a look down here. Okay. 10 right. Climb heading 103 to 540 feet, then direct to river, then on depicted route to Herman's. Altitudes assigned by ATC, we will say it's east, so we will say an odd altitude. I'm gonna, what altitude? Let's say 7,000. There's some mountains over there, and I don't want to get up close and personal with them. I don't know how far over this thing goes. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to river, and then we're going 6.4 miles, but I don't know how far river is. Pretty good turn there. And so we'll depart on heading mode and then hit VNAV up here. So this is interesting. Okay. I don't know how far that is. There's no scale. Well, it says 6,200 we're going to be. So minimum safe altitude is 6,200 there, so we're okay at 7,000. Okay. Thank you for a good chart. Okay, so what else we got? So 7,000. Let's put flight directors on. And we are set to go there. Let's go back over here. See, so this is an RNAV departure, so we really don't need a VOR. But since their closest VOR is Vancouver VOR, our battleground VOR 116.6, I will dial it. I will dial that in. Here. And the next one is Newburgh, which is 117.4. Okay. So I got that. By the way, what is tower frequency? Tower 123.775. 123.775. Okay. And let's turn that on. No, not alt on, just alt off. Okay, so that's good. Let's see, we need an altimeter 3007. And that shows us an airport elevation of 30, which
is 8 open? Yes, sir. All right, go down to Whiskey, join Alpha to the right. Whiskey Alpha Park, good night, last 326.
31. Yep, that's right. 3007. 3007. So we will set this for what do I want to set that for? I'm going to set it for 540. So that would be 570. Well, I think their intent, if I read that star correctly, is, or said correctly, is climb to 540. Yeah. So when we cross that line, then we should be engaging VNAV. So, yep. Okay, so RTO.
And Gulfstream 6 Tango Hotel, when you get down to Echo, you're going to follow a GeForce 321 from the right, or 321 from the right. Then you can
That is all set, that is all set. Go up here, this on, and that looks good. I don't believe we have any fuel in the center tanks. Nope. Okay, this is fine, this is fine, this is fine. Not yet. Got a little brightness there. Seat belts, and set that to auto. Set the attend button, and turn the logo light on. And let's, I think I'll leave that off. I can't remember what these switches do to the passengers. They probably get them very excited. Let's see, so if we do a start leg, yep, that's on, that looks good, that's on, we'll turn that on. And we are going up to 370. And our arrival airport is just about underwater. KSMF. Let's see. Back to Avatab Airport. See if it says here. Touchdown zone is 24 feet, so I'll use 0. That sea keeps going up. You just wonder what'll happen to Sacremento. The whole thing is so low. All right, so that's good. And I'll leave. Everybody's on board already. It just amazes me how fast they get those people. They must jog on board. So anti-collision light is on, and start this. I will. I absolutely will. Do you know how to fly a 738? Might need some help here. Let's see, so that's set. Trim is set. Park and brake is on. Shocks are off. RTO is set. Kill that. Don't us any good. Check the lights. just because we can. Okay, what else? All right, that's ready. And ground power disconnect. All right, we are on our own. Let's see, and we want to tail left is what we want here. No.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Yep. Okay. And pretty sure that's right. Okay, but before I do that, let's have a look at our taxi route. Okay, so we could go here. Look at that, the airplane's following us, and go right down there. So the first turn, and then on that, let's have a look at the chart in just a second.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Okay, they may have to wait a second. I'll be right back.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
So in case you're curious, the procedures I follow
Connected and bypassed and inserted. Release parking brake.
are pretty much the same as, I think Q8 Pilot does the same thing, and there's another guy, I can't think of his name. I just really follow them. Let's see, release parking brake, he said. So we should do that.
Starting pushback. And you may start engines.
Okay. I may or may not start engines. So let's go left engine first, right engine first. Not fast enough. Pretty airport. I keep saying it, but it is pretty. Okay, so that's that one. Good. Everything looks good. Let's do this one here. There's all pressure. go. Come on. These should have been on. Come on. Last. Why aren't those moving? Oh. You know, I got somebody's script. LUA script, and it's assigned all my buttons.
Operation
so
complete. Set parking brake.
Set the parking brake. Alright.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Put the gens on, and we can shut that off. And we are all set there. Did I get everything? This anti-ice we don't need. Hydraulic pumps. Oh, yeah, see? This is me. Dual bleeds. Let's shut that off. This will be a little comical, alright? Hopefully not too comical. Got my speed set, my heading is set, altitude is set.
Has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
He always hides behind that stanchion. Yeah, I see ya. Okay. So let's go back home, go to Avatab, and let's go back to the airport, and let's go to PDX, and so we went taxiway Kilo to Tango to Mike to Bravo to Bravo 1. Kilo Tango Mike Bravo 1. Okay, so let's go to legs. Kilo Tango Mike Bravo 1. That's our route. Okay, so we're ready to go here. Let's continuous lights are on. I think you turn the wing light, as the wheel well light you turn on to signal the folks that you're ready to go. Alright, so flaps 5. Recall is good. Flaps is good. Trim is good. Which is on. We're all set to go. Taxi light on. And let's see. So let's clear over. Well, let's see. Let's do this first. System left, right, up, down. And that's all good. So we are all set to go. Get our yoke. And let me check that real quick. I've done that before too. Let's go to, let's see, that's index page. Okay, so N1 limit is fine. And then the takeoff page, that's fine. Okay, that's where we need to be anyway, by the way. just a little. That's good enough. Fucking break off. I've seen this happen before. There we go. Okay, so Kilo and then Tango.
Delta 44 Heavy, you're going to follow the land or the TAM on left at Winston to 77, cross runway 13 left at Whiskey, Montero 12.
Then engaged reverse. I'll be so glad when I get a new throttle quad. I got my money's worth out of this one though, I swear I did. Probably a dime. Let's see, now I'm looking for Mike. Which I'm gonna guess. Let's guess. Is this way.
UPS 10 Heavy, thank you, taxi to the ramp.
And we'll turn our strobes on while we're crossing the runway here. No. There is somebody around here somewhere. Hope I'm not cutting them off.
476 Heavy, ground on right, 2 right, taxi left, Bravo, hold short, Foxtrot. Bravo, short, Foxtrot, going to right, we're going to
And now we're on Bravo.
Coming from the left, the one from the left. Delta 214 Heavy, new depart frequency 125.7.
Config. Checked. Flaps. Five.
476 Heavy, new depart frequency
5 set. Green light. Stability trim is set 4.86. Takeoff briefing reviewed. Cabin.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
RAM GeForce 27.
Real quick, I've got to stop up here and set my departure frequency. So, departure 540 feet, left turn to river. All right. And let's see, so our SID departure 100, and we're departing 0 with a left turn 088. So that means we're on 124.35. So that's right. Okay, good. All right, so let's see, we're put into position and hold. So that means runway lights on, taxi light off, turn off is on. These are continuous, and weather radar is on. And then for the co-pilot, he needs to do this TARA, strobe and steady, which we left on, and he needs to put on the auto throttle and select heading mode. And so we should be good. Let's take a look at the radar. So there's somebody back there. I'm not on VATSIM, so I don't know how worried I am here. I don't see anybody over there. Take a shot. So 400 feet check, 1,000 feet autopilot, and bug up. Close that. Not bad. Spool them up. Mike. That's it.
$80 knots. V1 rotate.
Come on.
Positive rate.
Gear up.
$400.
All right, let's go LNAV.
$1,000.
1,000, Command A, and bug up. Oh, what'd you do? On N1. Level change. No. That's happened to me before. Okay. Going to VNav. Flaps up. Actually, god damn it. There we go. Flaps up one more. Come on. Flaps up. I've got control wheel steering turned on, and that just always screws things up. Okay. So we'll close the speed window, let the thing do its thing, and do a little bit of cleanup. Let's see. Turn off RTO. These back to auto. Leave the landing lights on for now. That's good. That looks good. Pressurization looks good. Auto. Hello. Air conditioner and pressure is set. Engine start switches are auto. Landing gear is up and off. Auto brake is off. Flaps are up. No lights. Altimeters. Waiting on altimeters. And we are going to go up to, say, 15,000. Alright. So it's going to go on up. Okay. Getting hit pretty hard on the frame rate right now. That should straighten out. Put our range out. I haven't seen these before. I guess that's 283. Yep, that's what that is. That's all right. 10,000. And those can come off. So I hit control wheel steering on departure, which, you know, level change doesn't work. Maybe I need to hit speed. I don't know. I would have thought level change would have been the right thing to hit. But it didn't let me. Maybe that was because I was holding onto the yoke. And then let's do this. Put my throttles back because that's what screws me up on descent. Okay, so we'll go on up to 370. And I can swap those out. I don't need them right now. Did that not take? Oh, it's in both. There. So there's only one altitude to think about on the way down, 12,000 feet, and then the approach. I'm not going to be thinking about the approach. I'll just watch what's going on here. Altimeter, standard. Go to the legs page, get rid of the yoke. There is icing in this area. I should have probably had engine ice on anyway. It's an airment for icing below 180. So not much to see right now, but I think it clears up around. Let's have a look. Weather should clear up. Should start clearing up. Nope. Nope. Around Eugene, Oregon, which is another airport I wish we had. I like that airport. It is beautiful. It's got a big lake and a valley. I do like flying the Zibo. I just like flying other things more. You know, and if I stuck with it long enough, you know, I'd be pretty decent at it. But you really, you know, you gotta know stuff. And it takes a while to learn. Look at this, I left the systems page on. Climb performance. So our climb speed, our climb is 276 is our target. We're right on that. You could adjust that on your way up to 370. And I guess you could adjust your speed here. See, this is the stuff where I'm a little bit gray. You can adjust your N1. I've never used these. Cruise, this is more interesting. You can set your Mach speed, so sometimes VATSIM controllers will ask people to increase or decrease their Mach. So this is where you do it. Also on departure, you can set your speed. So if you have to make a tight turn and you're having trouble, your airplane says it's going to have trouble making the turn, you can set a lower speed. So instead of 250, you might say 220, something like that. And you can put that here. Really, this is the right place to put it, but you could also, I guess, put it here in the climb. Put 220 there. What is that? Because, I mean, you could put 220 down here, maybe. I don't know. And then descent. So our speed on descent below, yeah, that's right. The speed below 10,000 is 240. Could make that 250 or 230 or something like that. And really, that's mostly what I've used. And then you can use this forecast, descent forecast. I've seen some folks use this. Not sure it's implemented here. You'd have to put this stuff in and then put your altitude or your airspeeds in at various different altitudes on the way down. Might try some of that. And so yeah, you got to know all that. And then the progress page. This has, so it says we'll have 9.3 or 9,300 pounds of fuel, 9.3 tons of fuel, as they say, when we get there. So our reserve was 5.6, so we'll have more than the reserves. So that's a good place to check from time to time. doing? Still got a ways to go. Little by little, I think they've got the holding working now. Even though I think I think they've got the offset working, but I've noticed that you can't do an offset on a star. Because I was flying into Jacksonville, Florida, and I was going to fly right through a thunderstorm, and I wanted to use the offset to do it, just to see if it would work. I ended up having to vector myself. So on a star, no go. Maybe up here, up high, I can do that. I wouldn't think you'd use the offset very much at all. I know that they use the Mach setting quite a bit. I hear it all the time on VetSim. You know, I'm flying at the TBMs, they never adjust my speed for anything. Just about there. I was about to say. I hope they do an XPlane 12 whenever it comes out. I hope they have a whole redesign of the clouds. Yeah, I may shut off the control wheel steering on this thing because it messes me up. My throttle was messing me up for the longest time. It would go nutso.
Fast you go.
And I'd be in an idle descent, and all of a sudden one of my engines would go full throttle. So, yeah. I haven't announced anything, have I? I always like hearing that. Okay, so landing lights should have been off a long time ago. And let's see, seatbelt sign is off. Let's get those people to whip out their credit cards. Yes, of course you can. Okay, so we're at cruise, we're at 0.77 Mach. So cruise 0.77, right where we need to be. Ground speed is 289. So if I go to the descent prediction page, let's see, what's path say? Path doesn't do anything yet. Not going to click econ, but let's stick a couple altitudes in there. My flight plan. Top of go to active sky, and we'll go KSMF. Okay, so at 18,000, we got 305 at 64. Oh, it's gonna make me do that. 180 305 at 64. Clear. 64. And 12,310 at 26. 26, and at, let's say, 6,000, 309 at 14. 6,000, 309, 14. I'll execute that. Let's look at our progress now. Now it says we'll have 8.8 when we get there. So it's gone down a little bit. That's what that's for. I guess, oh, and you can set your FPA in here too. Somewhere. That might be ED altitude. I don't know. I don't know how to use that. There's a few things I don't really don't know very well, and one is, I know a little about how to shoot a visual, with using the computer. I remember it, I forget it again, I remember it again, I forget it again. So yeah. There's a lot to know about this airplane. You really got to fly it. You got to focus on it, I think, to get any really good at it. To me, at least I do. I can't fly any more than 3 airplanes at a time, really, and be any good. And if this is one of them, it's really 2. And it's got to get its fair share of time. Let's go out. So there's our top of descent, 160 miles away. So let's start thinking about arrival. Okay, so arrival, airport, back, Avatab, airport. We can close that, that, and we've got the approach, we've got that, and let's go back, airport. Okay, we're landing north. What did I say? 35 right. So no frequencies to set. Final approach course is 348. minimums are, let's see, so climb to 2000 direct O save and track 324 to Grime and hold. So missed approach altitude is 2000. Minimums are 316. So 316. On that VNav, that'll come on later. I know what meters is. I can't remember what FPV is. I used to use it on the A320, but that last time I flew that was 15, 18 months ago or something. Okay, so we were going to look at this here. Pretty long runway. 8,900. Auto brake 2. And what else? I already checked the approach. Go back to a net ref and we'll choose flaps 30. So that's 148, so our speed will be 153. We will see how I do on a landing. I will admit that I'm nervous. My history is landing long. Unless I get practice, and then like I said, I'm using the experimental flight model, so maybe that has something to do with it. But if I shut it off, then I forget to turn it back on for other airplanes. I wish you could turn it on only for certain airplanes, but that's not the world we live in. To see a little bit down there. So we will see the next time I fly the Zibo. Don't know when that will be. Might have something to do with how crappy a job I do. If it's too crappy, I might fly it again. If it's too crappy, I might just set it aside for a while. We will see. But I also have it in my head that I want to fly down the northern coast. So I might fly along. I did Big Sur in that area. So I may fly down from someplace around Seattle over to the coast, more or less VFR, and just fly down yeah, just looking at the airspace. The Seattle and then Oregon coast, and then down, stop in Arcata, or maybe North Bend. I'm not sure if there's a decent airport at North Bend. Arcata is okay. I've got a free.org airport from Arcata, and the approach into Arcata is really interesting. And then from Arcata, go down to Charles Schultz Airport. Just take it in a couple of legs, probably in the TBM. Those are longer legs, so I might. I mean, I could fly the E1000, but I haven't flown the TBM for a while now, so why not? Another flight I like to do is just Atlanta down to Miami or something. That's a nice flight. I've done shorter too. The one guy I saw who did a really nice tutorial on the Zibo, he flew from, if I believe, Tampa to Miami. Talk about a short flight. Anything to see out there? A little. I remember when I wasn't a kid, I was maybe 30 or so, and I saw those big circles down there, and I thought, what? Crop circles? Okay, I need to zoom. Yeah, descent. There's a way to adjust this. I might be right there. You may be able to put in VS. And that obviously would affect your top of descent. And I should get a descent now thing probably up here somewhere, which can be pretty handy. It's a nice airplane, nicely done, and it's still being worked on. I wish we could get some more GA airplanes where the developers kept working on them. I mean, I think we get more of that from the guys that are working on the default airplanes than we do on any other thing. You know, I mean, not to criticize too much, because you know, some airplanes are up to 1.6. You know, especially, I mean, so the Embraers they're still working on. Obviously, the 747 it's up to 2.0. The 777, the rumors have it that they're working on an update to it. I'm thinking it'll be a 2.0. And the 767, they're always updating the airliners. But you know, and then some of the airplanes, the Challenger, I think even the Mitsubishi are on multiple versions. Certainly the Hot Start is on, I don't know if it's on its 14th change. And there are some cool things I'd like to see in that, even though, I don't know, you know, I mean, they're getting ready to release another one, I think, but, you know, I don't know when that's coming out. But they're also working on that, the Challenger, new Challenger. But the TBM, I would like to see a systems page over here, or a summary page, whatever it is. I'd like to be able to put in V-speeds. Let's see who's on BatSim tonight. East Coast is loaded up. A lot of weather over there too. So yeah, I've booked myself out for quite a few flights. Let's see if I get to do them. So 40 miles to top of descent. Let's see, auto brake is set. Flaps, or the flap speed is 153, 30 degrees. That's what else you can do. So you can look at your fuel. It's about 10.9. That's what we got here. So at we'll have 9.5. So we're gonna lose about 1,300 pounds of, no. Yeah, 1,300 pounds of fuel between there and there. Which would adjust our gross weight down to 130.5. Okay, so I'll dial in 12,000. I will try to dial in 12,000. For now. For our approach, that whole area is really flat, so vectoring myself, I could just probably just go down to the altitude for the approach fix. Approach fix altitude. Fippen is 3,400 feet. So I could probably go down to 3,500. Been in the air for 39 minutes. That's set. That's set. Pressurization still looks good. This is set. So plenty of chances to screw up, and I've caught them. I've caught about 4 or 5 mistakes so far. Is it really that dark over there? Maybe. I'll have to bring that up on Google Maps and see what it looks like. Where are we? We're 120 miles north of Sacremento International. So this area here, I could figure it out. It's probably about 40 miles. Looks like a canyon. Sort of a, yeah. The Grand Canyon's little brother, the OK Canyon. So we're pretty view over there. So we're I think I know what lake this is. That would put Redding right over here somewhere. Maybe out over here. Yeah, I didn't want to fly into San Francisco because everybody flies into San Francisco. Well, you know, except for me. All right, so we're going down. So home, PA system, descent, and fasten seatbelts.
For the short duration of the flight, we really appreciate you choosing to fly with Southwest this morning. Hope you've enjoyed the trip. Have a great week, and please come back and see us again real soon. God bless.
We're losing our speed. pretty much of a stickler on descent in this airplane. I watch this, and this, you know, which is this and this. If this is arm, that means we're at idle. So that means that I can put out speed brakes if the speed is getting too high. And that keeps me out of, that keeps me on VNAV path instead of VNAV speed. Okay, so there we go. I don't know what retard means. I think that's my throttles doing that. Okay, so my speed is a little high. I'm still on VNAV path. Getting on VNAV speed is never a good idea. I've never seen it be a good idea. Okay, so at Peach, we're going to deviate this way. Let's look at our approach real quick. 3-5 right. Actually, I should deviate left. That's fine, I'll deviate left. So, Peach. And at Bowles, what is this? 2,000 feet. Oh, that's the missed approach. Nice reminder, though, huh? Now we're seeing something. That's pretty. I need to fly out of Reading because I used to fly out of it all the time in prepared. And you know, if you turn and you fly south from Reading, it was one of the most boring areas ever. And I want to see what it looks like with ortho. That's pretty down there. Amazing. Look at that. That's just beautiful. That's a better look. So we're doing speeds crept up. That's the altimeter. Altimeter is 3004. Yeah, so Arcata, someplace up around Seattle. We'll head south, go down to Arcata. I may just do a coastal flight at 6,000 feet, 5,000, somewhere around there. And then land at Arcata, and then go down to Charles Schultz. And then from there, might continue down the coast. You know, I did that, my last flight I flew at 1,000 feet. So I might do a second flight along Big Sur in that area at faster at 6,000. Yeah, there's some problem with KSMF, whatever. It'll be fine. How are we doing? 18,3004. Temperature is +2. We're gonna fly right through that hole. I guess not. It says 273. We're gonna have to decelerate soon. I guess we're all right. This is that whole area that I thought was so boring on prepared. Look at all that crop. Looks so much more interesting.
$1,000 to go.
Okay. So a little low on the speed, but we're still on idle. If this comes out of arm, then you need to take the speed brake off. Like that. Some town down there. Must be a lot of clay in that soil. Okay, so now we're down at 12. And so let's do this. Next page. 5 right. Clicks. There's 10. Should have done that already. Legs. So that's where we are. Yeah, peach. So I guess what its plan is to fly us straight over the top of the airport and do a loop and come back. Interesting. This whole area is so incredibly flat. I didn't sync up my heading once. So it's got top of descent here at 12,000. Then it wants to decel just a few miles later. That. That looks pretty good, whatever it is. Could that be Mather? Yeah, that's what it is. You can see the Christmas tree down here. That's where they do all that drone testing. Okay, so it's VS. VS. Why are you not VSing? I'm going to slow down to 250. Why won't you VS? Oh, that's why. Let's go down to 4,000. Dot. And speed brakes out. lot of icing conditions. Landing lights on. There's speed, good. Where's the airport? There's another airport over here. Is it by the river? Might not be able, well. That's not the river. Oh, there it is right there. That's Sacremento downtown. Thanks, dude. Pilot guy. Yeah, I was looking at that too. If you didn't see any of the other of it, I fly this thing like once a month, so yeah, do I make mistakes? You bet. Okay, so, oops. Yeah, I understand. I've got my pet peeves too, lots of them. I just, when I fly, when I fly the Zibo, I keep telling myself, you should fly this more, because it's a great airplane. I mean, I used to fly the PMDG, a long time ago, and this one, well, it doesn't have everything the PMDG has. It's certainly got enough. I mean, it's got a lot that the PMDG has. And it might, I don't know if these breakers work. Nope, not yet. I don't know if they ever will. That would be a lot to ask for, though. Okay, so $6,500 feet, 3,000 to go. We'll get down to 5 and make a right turn. Yeah, flaring in any of them is hard to me. I don't know, and I've got experimental mode on here, so yeah. I don't shut it off because I fly so many other airplanes, and most of them experimental works great. So, and I'd forget, to be honest. And I don't have that much. Well, I haven't had that much trouble flying the Zibo with experimental on, even though I know technically you're not supposed to. It is experimental, though. Let's see, so let's crank it over to 260. And we're below the glide slope. A little high on speed. So you just got it today, huh? How many flights have you had on it? Floats too much. I haven't flown it in so long. I haven't had prepared for maybe 2 years now. Yeah, I could turn. I'm going to get a little bit closer. Course is 348, which is about there. 348. So 320. I want to turn to 320. So I could turn here. And what's our speed? We can flaps 1. We'll see how we do here. 2 flights. I don't know what a CDA is. Controlled descent. Something. You may have a lot more experience with these things than I do. The intercept altitude for Fippen is 3,500. That's what I'm going by. And we're level at 3,500. And let's bug the flaps 1. Okay, we are FAC. What is FAC? In the real life, we try to get it down without ever leveling off to save fuel. Okay. So do you fly airliners in the real life? I guess the problem was that I should have done a direct to Fippen and actually I could intercept that at 3,400 and I could do a VS down. Yeah, it's not gonna let me. It's gonna do it on its own. Final approach course, normally it should say. Yeah, I'm flying an RNAV. So 737 now I'm assuming because of Corona. Oh, okay, wow. I'm getting some real coaching here, so, or at least some advice. Okay, so here comes the glide path. I'll put in flaps 2. Single channel, FAC. And we're on the glide path. And bug the flaps 2 speed. See if it can do it on its own. Put in flaps 5. It should be able to do that. And I should use LNAV and VNAV. For the GPS, you use LNAV and VNAV. With an RNAV in real life, we use LNAV, VNAV. There's no approach mode in RNAV. Okay, well, I'm not going to switch. I'm not going to switch now if that's all right. So, maybe it doesn't. I mean, in the real world, does it even work? Of course, you probably wouldn't know because you never use it. So you know how this thing lands. So when you say the PMDG has too much float, you know. Speed management is very good. Yep, we do. Oh, thank you. I've been burned many times on trying to descend into trying to do a VNAV descent, and I've yeah, so that's why. So let's get the gear down and let's put flaps, keep coming down, and the speed down to 15 is where we are. Let's go on down. And our final approach speed is 152. These to continuous. That's set. Flaps are set, no lights. Okay, good. Speed brakes are armed. Flaps are 30, speed is good.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
No, it isn't. watch our throttles and plan 65 and do that. Yep, you're just gonna annoy me.
Approaching minimums.
Yep.
300. Minimums.
Yep, don't dive.
200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Now, don't float forever.
knots.
Typical me, going to the end. I get busy. I can't read. All right. All right. So landing light off, taxi light on. And give me a moment here. Shut the pitot heat off. Oh, pitot heat off. And start this up. Clean that up. Let's see. Where's it? Turn this back to here. And auto brake off. That's here. And flaps up. Speed brake stowed. I think that's about got it. Thanks, Sam. We've got a real 737 pilot in the chat with you, Pilot Guy 707. He was giving me some tips. I'll have to read through them once I get the airplane settled back. We'll have to do a replay, right? I have no idea where I'm going, actually, now that I think about it. I'll pull out on this taxiway and we'll see. I imagine I'm going over here someplace. Funny thing is, the cleanup procedure you do now is about the same as my company. Really? That was, I don't know. Yeah. I guess I've just watched a lot of these videos. This is a freeware airport, guys, if you didn't read the comments. This is, what's that guy's name? It's free on the .org. Comes in like 3 or 4 parts. But for freeware, not bad. It's that guy, Forkboy. That's who it is. I'll see if I can find a gate by another Southwest. Looks pretty crowded. Flight director off at 100 knots on the hold on, let me get over here. There's a taxiway. See, this is, you know, something's messed up on this airport. Before I took this flight, I came over here just to take a look at the scenery to see if everything looked okay, and it did. And now look at it. There's no terminal. There's just jetways. People go into the jetway and they fall off onto the ground. So something happened. And here I was bragging about how nice this looked. Damn. Look at all these airplanes. Well, I guess I just find an empty jetway, or I just park someplace. Yep, except FD off at 100 knots on the MCP, and then uneven level plus 100 on the altitude, 4 degrees on the trim. Oh, I see. So that whoever comes in, if they see it, they have to adjust it. Do you ever stream, Pilot Guy? Look at this. I think that if I taxi into one of these guys, he disappears automatically, but it feels rude. I don't know. Is that a taxi? I don't even know how to get in here. I should just park out here. I don't make videos or something, just like to watch sometimes. Yeah, that's how I started streaming. I like to watch other people's videos, and there's just not very many people doing it, so I thought, why not? Yeah, I'm about to smack into this guy over here. Yeah, I'm not going to make this turn. Yeah, I'm coming the wrong way. Oh, God. Look at this. Yeah, turn. Well, it could have been worse. There we go. Taxi light off. Let's see, that's on, so I can go like this and park and brake and off and off. At least the gates work, huh? And background services, GPU connect. And I don't know what makes people exit. Yeah, cleared for departure. Let's see, so they should be on stro or steady. Those can be off. Taxi lights are off.
Have a good flight.
Yeah, thank you. All right, let's do this. What did I do there? All right, so it should be, if that took, then I should be good to shut that down. We will see. Yep, I guess we're okay. But we got to do a replay here, don't we? All right, so let's see. I don't know what runway we're on here. Now you're supposed to go up. What's it? Oh, this is the right one. So we'll go this way. I don't know where I touched down. It's nowhere near the Vassies, though, I'll say that. We'll say right around here. And flight, toggle replay mode. So didn't go that far back, did I? Hold on. Shift. All right, it's a little far out. There we go. That's good. Go back to shift 3. Come on, let's go. Parking skill level 100. I passed. I was. I should have opened up a map, right? But I mean, what happened to the damn building? Of course, when I did check out this airport, I checked it out in a different airplane. I don't know what that would have to do with anything. There's the Vassies. Okay, so there's the big paint. Let's keep going back. Maybe this will do. I'll probably land beyond this, though. We'll see. If you want to know what the recommended technique is, 20 to 30 feet high, start flaring 2 to 3 degrees. Hold your attitude close to the thrust. Close the thrust at 10 feet and then let it go down while keeping the attitude. Okay, so flaring 2 to 3 degrees. So flare the nose up 2 to 3 degrees. Here we're seeing, see, I'm too high there. Oh my God. Well, it wasn't bad. Let's back that up and look again. Yeah, see, I'm climbing. So my nose is too high. Let's go inside the cockpit and see what I did. No, let's not do that. Let's go. Okay, so now we can watch my attitude indicator. So I'm up about 2 to 3, well, what is that? 2 degrees there. And then I let it sink. And then I went up to 5, 6, 7, 6. flared a bit too much there. So whatever my attitude is on this, when I'm coming in, then look to raise it 2 to 3 degrees above that. That's what you're saying, right? And this is with experimental flight model too, so I'm not to say anything other than it isn't that bad. I don't think it's that bad. I don't know why it puts this warning over here. I mean, or if maybe it's a good thing. Hey, congratulations, experimental flight model is on. Let's do a tower view. See if I can figure out what tower is that. Is that 5? Yeah. I always like the tower view. Okay, here we go. Got my binoculars out. Yep, he flared it. Okay. So, look at that view back there. When you're coming in, you should be around 1 degree with flaps 30, then raise the nose 2 to 3 degrees. So 2 to 3 degrees more, or just 2 to 3 degrees. So for 1 degree, then I'd raise it to 3 to 4 degrees. So stay below the 5 degrees is what you're saying. Yeah, even I can see that's too much. Even though I didn't miss that marker by that much, thank goodness. But I had to go to the end. What I said about how flat it is here in Sacramento, I think that's the way it is. Where's the building? Of all the things not to show up, right? Of all the things, I mean, they had all these houses, all these buildings over here, and that building chose not to show, and that's the error. That's what that was. I got an error that KSMF had a problem loading. So I bet you that's what it was. Normally, yes, if your approach was stable, that should work. Okay. Okay. And it was pretty stable, I thought. I was flying with the instruments, and then I thought, that's ridiculous. It's beautiful out here. I should look outside. So I guess this is the front of the terminal where all the taxis hang out. So that didn't go too bad. Yeah. Yeah, and I have flown the 737 on VATSIM, but I always, since I don't, I fly it maybe once every 3 to 4 weeks. I don't fly it enough to get good at it, and I can't remember how to do some things. Like you pointed out, I was using approach mode instead of LNAV VNAV. So that's, one mistake. And I can't bring up all this stuff right now, but yeah, it won't let me do it. But I don't know how to use the climb, the cruise, the descent screen too well. They never ask on VATSIM. Well, I don't know if you know that, but because you're in the real world, but you probably don't use the offset very much, even in the real world. And what else? Certain things that I've heard them ask pilots to do. I mean, I can reduce my cruise speed here. It seems to me that sometimes you might need to reduce or increase your descent angle, which you could do here. And I guess you could increase or decrease your climb speed here, your thrust. So instead of doing 240, you could do 220 or something like that. And then I've only used offset on an oceanic route. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because there's really You know, there's no radar out there. It's just time, right? And what else don't I know how to use very well? Oh, visual approaches, which is here. So a fair amount of time they ask you to do a visual, which I used to know how to do. You select the runway and then you select the distance or something like that, and it plans a 3-degree descent for you. But you know, a downwind visual approach might just blow my mind right now. So yeah, that's my, you know, and I forget, you know, so yeah, I fly a fair amount of GA airplanes in between flying the Zibo, and then I just always go, you know, this is the, it's one of, I think, the top 2 best airplanes for XPlane. And you just have to fly it from time to time, and it is totally immersive. So yeah, you just have to fly it. You know, if you don't fly it, you just feel left out because there's just nothing that immersive. Well, look at whoever's taxiing this plane is just doing a bang-up job. Select runway a 4 nautical mile point in there with hard altitude and make sure it has a 3-degree path. A 4 nautical mile with a hard altitude. So it'll calculate the altitude for you, won't it? Because otherwise, I mean, from the 3-degree path, since it knows the runway touchdown zone, it should go out 4 miles and up 3 degrees and give you an altitude to be at. Yeah, the Zibo is great. It's the closest thing. Flying the real one at the moment. Okay. That's good to hear. It's good to hear. Yeah, it's, I don't know what it is, why everybody is flocked to the 738, but the benefit is you get a pretty accurate airplane out of it because everybody's flying it. Certainly everybody's flying the PMDG one, but over here everybody's flying the Zibo one, and this is free. I don't know what the PMDG one costs right now, but I bet you it's $100, 90 probably. So yeah. Select the altitude it says on the FMC and reselect it on it and execute it to make it a, oh, I see, yeah. Okay, okay. So it's not a hard altitude until you select it. That's interesting. So I can't put it in right now because I'm here, you know, because they cleaned out my computer. But so you go to departure arrival, select arrival, the bottom arrival, and then just select the runway and then put the distance here and it'll give you an altitude. And then you go back to the legs page and it'll have the altitude there, I'm guessing. And you select the altitude and put it back in. That's not bad. I don't remember it being exactly like that, and I certainly don't remember double selecting the altitude. Look at that. Yeah. How close was I to this guy? Not bad. Needed a wing walker though, right? Skidding in. Look at that. Well, unselect the altitude. Yeah, that's it. I will have to try that on the next one. If I can get that right, because I get, you know, I was, the last time I flew the Zibo on VATSIM, it was into Atlanta. And I think the controller was just tired. And he was giving everybody visual approaches. Yeah, yeah, you know, I mean, if that's how you do it. He was just giving everybody visual approaches. And my default, if I can't remember how to do a visual, is I'll select an instrument approach like a ILS, and I'll just fly a short kind of ILS, because then I can use the glide slope and the localizer as guidance, but I won't select the approach. I'll simply either fly it by hand or something like that. Yeah, I don't know if anybody be doing that seems like the right way to do it though. Yeah, you can see where my tail is off here. But look, it's actually inside the airplane. The Microsoft version of this, I don't know how it does it, but it molds to the airplane. That will be interesting to see. So you were simming before you got the COVID thing hit though, because you had the PMDG. And then you just use LNAV and VNAV. If there is an ILS, you can overlay it on your visual profile for extra help. Yeah, yeah. That's my default in practically any airplane. If they've got an ILS, I'm dialing it in, even if I'm doing a visual. And unless it's something some real basic airplane. But if the weather's got any margin to it at all, unless I'm flying like a box pattern or something like that. I mean, select its frequency and check the localizer on glide slope. Yeah. Yeah. So, well, you're just going to have to believe me that this is a pretty airport. I don't know what happened to the building. Yeah, sometimes the Zibo, I don't know well, I mean, I did try to use the offset, I'll be honest there. I was flying into Jacksonville and I was on a star and it was going to fly me into a thunderstorm and I was not on VATSIM, so I decided to try to use the offset on a star. Maybe that doesn't work on a star because, if everybody was using an offset, that would be weird. They would probably just vector everybody. But yeah, it did try. But I ended up just self-vectoring myself around a pretty big storm. I was a simmer with PMDG when I was 16, and when I was 22, I got a job at 22. Holy crap! In Europe. Holy crap! 22 years old and flying a 737. That's pretty flippin' amazing. Where are you in Europe? I'm guessing on an island right now. See? It is pretty when and it only picked that one building not to show up. 3 months after flight school, I got the job. Holy crap, 3 months. So you got your instruments, and 3 months later, you were boom on a 737. That's got to be a shock. Here, it's just like a Cessna 172, except bigger. In Belgium now, living and working in Portugal. Okay. Yeah. I actually have been building up my European scenery. I used to fly over there quite a bit, and then I switched to XPlane, and I just focused on America. But lately, I've got almost all of Orbix, England, and most of their major airports. So I'm sort of slowly building it out whenever they go on sale. And then I've got Belgium, Luxembourg, and Netherlands, and parts of Germany, and I got to get busy on that if I'm serious about flying over there. I just bought Barcelona the other day, so it sounds like I am a little serious about it. And I also bought something in Greece, some island that was just beautiful. So Yeah, 200 hours on piston engine planes. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. That's about all I have. I've got maybe not even quite that in piston airplanes. Who knew that I could have kept going and started flying 737s? Not here, maybe. But I knew I had, my instructor and a friend of his. It took them, last time I checked, which was a long time ago, they were up to King Airs, and they had hours. Barcelona's nice to fly into. Yeah, there's a scenery if you haven't seen it for Barcelona. You may have. It was on sale for like $15 yesterday, and I just swooped in and got it. My mother-in-law has been there. I'd love to go there. Looks like a beautiful place. My mother-in-law's 91. She went when she was like 84. First time I think she'd ever been to Europe. But she went. My flaps aren't quite up. I don't think I can put them up. Nope, the engines aren't running. I can't put them up. That's okay. I'll just restart this in. So where do you fly, typically? Just all over? Random? USA, it's not easy to get a good job. I know getting those 1,500 hours must be difficult before getting a nice job. A lot of people, they get their commercial license and they start teaching, I think. They might do a little bit more flying, get up some more hours. And then they start teaching to build up hours. And that's what, they did. And, I was just doing it because I wanted to fly places with my family. All over Europe. Yep. That must be fun. At least sometimes. I imagine it gets boring at times, but gosh, I get to see lots of cool places. At least I hope you do. Lots of places I'd love to see. Yep. Well, I think I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to go upstairs and watch some movie with my son. Thanks for watching. And thanks for the tips, really, seriously. I will take this thing back up. I mean, I was half joking earlier before I think you chimed in, before you came on, that I would, if I flew it too badly, I wouldn't fly it again for a while. But then I said to myself, if I flew it too badly, I should fly it again. So, I've just got a VFR license. I was working on my instruments when I was getting real frustrated. I was a member of an aero club in New Jersey, and I was getting real frustrated with their maintenance. And I went one day to rent an airplane, and there were so many things wrong with that airplane. I just got pissed, and I went inside. I hung up the notebook, the crap list. What's wrong with this airplane list. I wrote it all down. I went inside, hung it up on the hook, and I left. And then 6 months later, 9/11 happened, and I lost all desire to fly after that for a long, long time. But then, thank God for Flight Sim, because it, it sort of held me over for a good long time after I finally got the desire to fly. But, money and jobs and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, just a VFR license. Done some long cross countries here and there. But nothing, the biggest airplane I've flown is the Cessna 182, which I loved flying. I really like that airplane. That airplane didn't have anything wrong with it. Nice feel to it. And honestly speaking, the difference between a Piper Archer and a Cessna 182 feels like a minivan compared, if Archer feels like a car, a Cessna 182 feels like a minivan. That's the way I used to describe it. Really nice feel. So, yep, I made it. Once again, I didn't crash. Sometimes it's luck. But I'm going to take your advice on that flare, though. I've been trying to figure out what I can do to even it out some, because sometimes, there are times when I have floated. My last flight was in Miami. I don't know if you've ever flown to Miami. You miss VFR flying. Don't have the SEP license anymore. It costs too much. I don't know what a SEP license is. SEP. Yeah, I've still got my license. All right. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, I've still got my license. You never lose your license here in the States, but you have to go up with an instructor, hour or two or something like that, and they'll let you fly anything. I told my son I'd take him up. We'd rent a twin, but man, there's no good twins around here at all. They're awful. Anyway, yep, I'm gonna go watch a movie, and you have a good night. I'll look for you online. Maybe you'll catch me again. You can look at my stuff. Flying a Zibo like it online. Well, this is the first. Well, this is the first time I've streamed the Zibo. There's another video of me landing the 737, the PMDG in the Caribbean, which you can see what my flare looked like there too if you want. Yeah, single engine piston. Okay, yeah. Costs too much. Yeah, I've heard it costs a lot in Europe for that. Anyway, have a good night, and maybe you'll see you soon. Hope so. And I hope you have a lot of fun simming while you're waiting to get back on your job. I sure hope that all irons out for you guys.